out of the 100 trips or so that you referenced, when did you begin to say, Lord, are you asking me to leave home and go and be kind of residential in this work? When did that begin to happen, and how did you handle it? Was it a yes, Lord, or was it like, are you kidding me? How was that?
That's a fantastic story that has fingerprints all over it. If you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
I think I think that question is always there. And I think maybe that question was always being asked. It maybe just wasn't as direct and formal, so to speak. And so it did begin to wane where, after, a lot of these, repeatable trips, and sometimes, I was doing 8 to 12 trips a year at, and that's a lot, that's a lot of moving parts. And that's not my full-time job. Right. So, as those questions began to form, and really, that desire as well, there was a very particular trip to Turkey that really changed everything for me. And that story I love to tell, but really on two different continents, my wife and I both gave responses almost at the exact same time in different time zones, where we had written in our journals simultaneously, I say yes, and we actually didn't even know the question. We didn't know what that meant. We had no idea. We had no clue what did we just respond to, in essence. And so, but it became a resounding yes. And so, on a trip here in 23. I was teaching we were coming to a local island, very local, and we were doing a full business presentation, and, bringing all the business leaders together. It's kind of where I thrive. I had a coaching business as well. And, so, when I ran the marketing piece. And so, when I was doing the teaching on the marketing piece, it was just fascinating, made friends instantly, went out to lunches, dinners, really started kind of picking everyone's brains and adding, feedback. And I had a guy introduce a project to me on that island. And it was fascinating. Started to kind of look at numbers, look at drawings. I'm used to looking at international blueprints. And confusing to most, but made sense to me. And so, man, when I was on the plane on the way back from that trip, there was 3 things that I just couldn't really believe had all come crashing together at the same time. And that was people, people that I had come to love and been working with, and this project, and the place. The place is amazing. It is truly breathtaking, but to have all of it, what it felt like, everything that I had been doing in my life and preparing for, like, it just seemed to all come together at that moment. Like, God's going to use everything that I'm currently, my ability is project management and in construction and with finances. So, my business at home, we run a flip business. We have private money lenders, so about $6 million in a pool that we are able to use. So I manage that fund. I manage all of our projects there. And it's like, all of a sudden, this all came together to use all of that experience, in this singular project that we're now building.
I love that you're, and it's funny. I had the exact same experience. I kept saying, Lord, I've been trained theologically, pastor for 15 years, went into business, very successful, learned a ton. And at about year 22 or 3 in that experience, I kept thinking, Lord, how's this fit together? You don't waste things. And that's what you just said. Everything he taught you was for now, right? It wasn't like, well, set that aside. It was for now, which, by the way, you're still running your business, your flip business, right? That still is ongoing. Matt, there's a method to my madness to this question, but how old were you when God first began to say, okay, this is what I want now?
I would say it was in it was in my 40s. So this wasn't 20s, this wasn't 30s. This was in my 40s, where this what consider, hey, late in life you're building something. I don't know for what, but you're building something for an end somewhere, right? You're gearing up towards, hey, what does the last part of this look like?